Welcome back to This Explainer. Right now, we are looking at an absolutely massive news hook surrounding the world's biggest band and, well, the biggest music awards on the planet. But, this isn't just your standard story about industry politics or award show drama. Not at all. To really understand what's at stake here, we have to look closely at the art itself. We're going to break down exactly why their work commands so much global attention, and we'll do that by looking at the very foundation of their artistic identity.
Okay, let's dive into this. The central question dominating headlines everywhere right now is, will BTS reconsider their Grammy boycott as the entry deadline looms? There is incredible, high-stakes tension here. On one hand, you have the most prestigious institution in Western music, and on the other, an unprecedented global phenomenon that has historically had a pretty complex relationship with these specific awards. And that looming deadline is really forcing a decision. Do they submit their latest groundbreaking work for consideration, or do they stick to a boycott, making a powerful statement by basically withholding their art from the Academy? To truly grasp the weight of this potential absence, we need to understand exactly what the Grammys would be missing out on. We really need to look at the visual language they've built.
So, to understand what's at stake, we need to establish a core concept first. What exactly do we mean when we talk about a group's visual identity? Well, a visual style is the unique look and feel of art, design, or media. It is made by using specific design choices like colors, shapes, and lines. This is the foundation of how artists communicate without saying a single word. When you look at an artist whose work is heavily scrutinized, celebrated, and completely dissected by millions of people globally, you realize pretty quickly that their visual style isn't just an accident. It's not just a cool backdrop. It is a highly intentional, meticulously crafted language. And as you'll see in just a second, BTS uses colors, shapes, and lines to completely control the emotional journey of their audience.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how deliberate the design choices are. They capture the absolute essence of conceptual intimacy. We're totally drenched in these stark, moody blue lights that immediately evoke this sense of introspection, maybe a bit of isolation or just deep emotional resonance. And notice the shapes and lines here. Instead of rigid, heavy stage structures, we see these organic, flowing lines created by the draped white sheets. And look at the blocking of the members. They're forming a tight, unified circular shape right in the center. The visual style here pulls you inward. It feels incredibly private. Actually, scratch that. It's more like we're looking at a living, breathing sculpture rather than a pop concert. That singular, monochromatic color palette and those soft organic lines that completely strip away the noise of the outside world.
Let's move on and see how this builds, because man, they flipped the script entirely here. We've gone from a whisper to an absolute roar. In a colossal stadium show like this, the visual style has radically transformed to match the sheer scale. Just look at the architecture of the stage itself, those sprawling, jagged, geometric shapes jutting right out into the crowd. We've traded the moody, introspective blue for explosive stadium colors. You've got that intense, fiery orange radiating from the center stage, crashing right into an ocean of vibrant purple. And rather than soft, flowing sheets, the lines here are sharp and radiating, created by tens of thousands of audience light sticks illuminating the darkness. The visual style here isn't pulling you inward anymore. It is exploding outward, literally designed to project energy all the way to the very last row of a massive arena.
And this brilliantly illustrates the true genius of their aesthetic. Just look at the incredible versatility of their visual styles side by side. On the left, you have this intimate, avant-garde conceptual art. On the right, you have a massive-scale blockbuster spectacle. Shifting seamlessly between these two extremes isn't just about having a huge production budget. It's about having absolute mastery over visual language. They understand precisely how to manipulate colors, shapes, and lines to make a quiet moment feel profound and a massive stadium feel like a unified, singular experience. This duality, the ability to be both deeply vulnerable and undeniably colossal, is exactly why their art commands such global respect.
So let's summarize exactly why these specific visual choices in color, shape, and line are so absolutely vital to this whole conversation. It's the contrasts that build their identity, right? The shift from organic to geometric shapes gives their performances an incredible dynamic range. Moving from monochromatic lighting to explosive colors creates a profound emotional contrast for the viewer. Utilizing both flowing and sharp lines dictates exactly how and where the viewer's eye is guided. Ultimately, mastering both intimacy and colossal scale forms a completely unique artistic identity. This isn't just entertainment, folks. It is high-level visual art. And it is precisely this meticulous, celebrated aesthetic identity that makes their work so undeniably worthy of the highest award recognition the industry has to offer. So, the crucial point is this. When you look at the sheer scale, the intent, and the absolute mastery of visual style we've just broken down, the context of that looming entry deadline feels so much heavier. Will a visual masterpiece of this caliber actually be absent from the Grammys this year? Are they going to stick to the boycott and let their art speak for itself entirely outside the confines of the Academy, or will they beat the deadline and challenge the establishment from the inside? It's such a fascinating dilemma where art, identity, and industry recognition all collide head-on. I really want to leave you with that thought to ponder. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep observing the design in the world around you, and I will catch you in the next explainer.